difficult parts. Let's get these wrinkles out so it looks nice and neat. So here we are on this side of this. As you can see, I gotta get the iron, and I gotta iron out those wrinkles first. But another thing is, look, so I'm in my room. There's my laundry and whatnot. But as you can see, you're able to manipulate a room into anything you want. So don't ever limit yourself as long as you have access to what you need. But anyways, so we got your 3-point system, which here's my key light, my fill light or filler light, and my background light. And that's what we're gonna use to set up the scene. Let me play with them a little bit. Let me go ahead and set them exactly where I want them, and then we'll continue going on. But like I said, I need to get these wrinkles out too. All right. Well, that didn't help nothing to make it dirty. I gotta go back and forth a lot. This is only me. Oh, I died. No, I caught that. New battery. The unfortunate part about this is I gotta move that to put there. Always have extra batteries. Not bad. Here we go. We must continue. You hype when you're doing the visuals. I love this thing. Now I gotta do everything that I just did with the mirror in front. This is gonna be the scary part. I gotta put the mirror there. But I gotta use books. I gotta do it all together. We're out here now because you know what I mean. We'll do however. That's it. Get in a small little room with no room. I'm glad I lost weight because I probably wouldn't be able to maneuver around here. Alright. Here's the mirror. This thing's heavy. Old school ones. Or maybe we'll time lapse this because I gotta rotate the whole room now to side perspective and mimic it. So, Remember when you guys are setting up your stuff to always mimic what it would look like before, because one thing off will throw everything off. I'm a person, I critique when I watch movies and films. Excuse me. Because I'll catch bloopers left and right, even little simple things from transitions. Because I'll catch bloopers, even little simple things such as transitions, or maybe just certain objects that are in and they weren't in. Simple things. You gotta pay attention to everything and make sure that you get it where you want it to be, and don't rush it. Make sure you have time to properly move things around, and just don't rush things, because that's where you make mistakes. Now, due to my lack of space, it's gonna be hard to mimic the lights, so you gotta work with what you got, and just try to do your best. So definitely get alternate shots from both sides too, so that's even when it comes to B-rolls, retake your B-rolls with the new position, and you'll be able to cover your ground with that. So once you reset up your whole scenery back to where it needs to be, like I said, I have to mimic it, because one thing is I only have this wall that's blacked out. So what I have to do is I have to maneuver everything back to the sides when I want to get certain angles, just so I have a black background. But however, to cover my ground, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna film B-rolls for each way that I film it, so that I'm able to cover my ground whenever rotating and transitioning from films, or transitioning from clips, I should say. So here we go again. B-rolls. All right, so I got my B-rolls. Now let's put it back on the stabilizer, and I'm gonna jump back in the scene. So I just finished my B-rolls, or recapturing my B-rolls after alternating the scene. And now I'm gonna go ahead and put it on the tripod, and then I'm gonna go ahead and set it up to how I want it, so that I could do my parts in the scene. And once again, re-rotated room, same similar parts, different angle. Let's go. Honestly, I'm really loving the fill wheel. It's helping me so much just be able to view these clips while working alone. I love it a lot. It's very super, the colors are super bright. It comes with lutes in. Honestly, it's amazing. I like it. Recommended. Definitely for the price. Seeing what I do is I adjust it, looking on that angle, because I'm able to see how bright it is. I'm not working on auto on my camera for my filming. I have it on manual set, so I'm able to adjust my iOS as I please, as well as just mess with the aperture, so the light intake of it. Let's see how I look like in frame on these parts. Let's go. Trying to continue this scene. Hopefully everything's set correctly, or at least decently correct. Alright, here we go. And action. So I'm basically going off the fly with all of this. But however, what you want to do is if you have a script set or an idea, that's which I pretty much have an idea. So every way that I alternate my scenery, I mimic every move that I've made before. So if you pay attention, rubbing my hands, even though my face is not in the actual clip, I still lick my lips and act like if it was, because it helps me to be more natural when executing what I'm trying to do. Let's continue on. So got those scenes. Now, when it comes to your transitions or your scenes as well, a good thumb rule is always have distant clip, close clip, and then they could all be B-rolls, but it's just you're panning back and forth, like giving somebody a big perspective, like the whole picture, and then going in and zooming in and giving them a vividly close description of what's going on. It's always helpful. I'm trying to get close shots, so hopefully I don't have to go handheld. Just remember that your tripods are adjustable and you're able to all move them around as you will and do your best that you can with that. Especially if you're getting close shots like such. Remember, when you're using your tripod, you're able to adjust them as you will. Having this monitor is such a big help too, because I'm able to see what's in the shot and how bright it actually looks, because I have my ISO low so that the clips come in clear, and I'm able to adjust all of that in post. Alrighty, so we adjusted to that. Now let me do my part. And once again, like I said, me personally, I like to reenact the whole thing so that I could have smooth transitions. However, you don't have to do that. If you could get it executed how you want to properly without doing that, then kudos to you. Let's see, that was kind of crappy in my opinion, so I'm gonna redo that. I feel like it was too slow. Here we go. In action. Also understand if you mess up on certain parts, if there are clips that are transition clips, you're able to redo them right then and there. For instance, I messed up whenever I put the cup down. I kind of like went down on it, which kind of looked really stupid as I was looking at the monitor. So I just went ahead and picked it back up and acted like if I was drinking from it, and then put it back down again. But remember, your slow, your speed, everything counts. So just remember how you did it. So if it was fast, if it was slow, remember that so your transitions look clean. Because other than that, if you have one clip that's super fast and then the other one's slow, then you could tell that the transitions are not smooth and you did multiple shots. But try to make it as smooth as possible. So if I did it that quick, then I want to do it that quick again. Just really keep that in mind. I'm almost done with all these clips and I'm about ready to add the mirror. So last thing I want to get is the bread though, and then up close of my mouth drinking the cup, as well as me taking a bite of the bread as well. Now first we're gonna get the bread. This is me grabbing the bread. So if I want to use that transition, I'm not trying to use that one though. This is mostly for the bite and me picking up the bread. Again, always remember the way you had it. I just forgot which way the bread was. Yeah, it goes that way. I have to rewatch it to make sure that it was that. That's funny. But like I said, pay attention to which way it goes. Because if you're a person that pays attention vividly, you'll notice this, and then it's just gonna bother you, especially when it's your work. I've had work that I edited way back in the day, and I rewatched it, and I'm like, what the heck was I thinking? Or that transition was garbage. What was I thinking then? And so yeah, just really think about it. It's best to have a storyboard, even vividly descriptive storyboard with showing where your cameras are, what angles they're facing, where your lights are. Stuff like that will definitely help you to stay on your A game. Okay, now, again, the bite. So now I'm gonna hire my tripod to my mouth level, so I'm able to get a close-up. Remember, I wanna make sure that it's on the black background though. Okay, so let's see that backlight is in the shot. So then we gotta adjust. Right in. I'm looking at it in the monitor to see where it's at. And then again, when you start recording, I like to react everything. You don't have to do that, but just remember what you want to get in your shot. Kind of have it in thought already, and then so you're able to execute it. Let me see here real quick. Okay, zoom. Okay, cool. I was faster after you too. I'm not hungry and I was dry and fast. That was really dry. The dedication. But it needs to be real. So, you gotta go full force with it. Okay, so I got all my transitions. I got the bite of the bread. Next is now the mirror in front of me and mimicking everything I do now, and then I'm gonna have a dark twisted end to it. You'll see. Tune in or stay posted.